Hello everyone. How you doing out there? Hello from me and my new glasses. I just got these glasses and when I first got them I was like, these things are huge. They're like the glasses that my mom had in the 90s. They were about this big, but they were bright blue. But I guess the oversized look is coming back. I don't know. I'm getting used to them now, though. I really like them. I like how they're so big so I can see a lot. I can just see at all. Like my old glasses were so scratched up. I couldn't see like anything here. To see, I had to like look down like this or up like that to see anything. So I'm stoked I have glasses I can actually see with and not have to wear contacts every single day. So anyway, I got these glasses through a sponsorship essentially from a company that reached out to me and asked to collaborate, and they sent me these glasses and then I made a video about it. And that was just such a huge milestone because that was the first time that a company reached out to me to, send me something that's like super useful and helpful and awesome. So yeah, I had a goal for myself to try to get at least one sponsorship this year. So I can check that off. So that was a huge moment. And it's just something that like is so helpful for me. Yeah. So anyway, hello. I am going to put a poll on YouTube only because apparently you need to be an affiliate or a partner on Twitch to do polls. That's why I was not able to do that last time. Which I am not. If you want to follow me over on Twitch and help me get to be an affiliate or partner, that would be cool. I think I need like 50 followers to be an affiliate, and I am at 30. Let me grab my my Twitch URL. I'll post it in YouTube. So if you feel so inclined, you can go follow me over on Twitch. Help me get to an affiliate or partnership so I can have polls. I cannot have polls. So we are doing the poll in YouTube. And so it's going to be what you want to do tonight. I had so much fun last week playing those games with you all. So I don't want to do the exact same games as last week, but one option could be I was checking out some of the games on the Merriam-Webster site today because in my Discord channel today, we were chatting about Wordle and other word games like that or like puzzle games like that because I don't know if you all did the Wordle yesterday. Spoiler alert if you haven't done it yet, but it was yesterday, so I will be talking about it. But it was a very difficult word yesterday. And so I posted about it on my Instagram, and then we started talking about it on Discord about how difficult that was. But then people started talking about other word games that they like to do, and I think it was Mark mentioned Quirtle, which is basically 4 Wordles at the same time, which was really interesting. So that was on, I believe, was the Merriam-Webster website. So then I checked out the other games that they have there, and they have quite a few quizzes and different kinds of games, a ton of different kinds of games, actually. So that is one option. Hey, Sam. Okay, cool. Awesome. Sorry. I get like, yay, someone's in the chat. Oh, it's a troll. Fun. But I was on it then. You can't. Ever since I got that wave of trolls a few weeks ago, I am laser focused. So bye, Sam Gloves, you weirdo. Okay. Anyway. So yeah. So one option is playing like quizzes and games on the Merriam-Webster website, or also there are like websites that are basically Wordle, but not really officially. And they have a bunch of Wordles we could do there. There's also a game called Connections that I do every day, which is also a New York Times game, and can be a little frustrating, but you're trying to find the connections between 4 different words. There's 4 groups of 4 in a grid. And so I did find like a dupe of the New York Times connections that someone just made on their own until they possibly get sued by the New York Times. Anyway, so that's one option. And another option, I guess I can show you like what I'm talking about because I have these all pulled up instead of like describing them to you. So, okay. So these are like all. One thing about the Merriam-Webster website is we're going to have to deal with a bunch of ads, which is super annoying. But there's Quirtle. This is like just a spelling game I'm not a huge fan of. I've seen this a bunch of different places. This is one of the quiz ones, which was interesting. Octortle, it's like 8 Wordles at once. It was too much. This was a cool one, but it's like against other people and you're trying to find words faster than they do. I'm not sure how much fun. We couldn't really do that together because it's too fast. This one was cool. You had to find 2 words that rhyme. It was kind of easy. Anyway, there's a bunch of other quizzes too. So that's one option. Another option is printing off another print and play. So Helen suggested a bunch of different ones. Thank you, Helen, for sending me a bunch of print and plays that I should check out. And one of them, actually the first one, was Raging Bulls. And this looks like a very cool print and play. Just one sheet, no cutting, very simple. I'm finding that the kind of print and plays I like are ones you just print and play, literally. I'm not interested in, I think because I do so much of my own prototyping, I just want, when I'm doing a print and play, I just want to print and play. I don't want to be cutting. I don't want to be folding. I don't want to be gluing. And I know a lot of people like that crafting part of it, but I am crafted out with my own prototypes. So when I'm doing a print and play, I like 1-pagers, I am finding. So this looks like a very fun 1-page print and play where you're trying to essentially pen in these bulls. So you're going to be adding these little circles, which are the bulls, and then you're going to be rolling dice to figure out how to draw these lines in a way that you separate these bulls from each other so they don't attack each other. Yeah. So that is another option. Another option is we can just chat. We can just, there's a lot to talk about. We can just hang out. So I'm going to put that poll on YouTube and see what y'all want to do. So play quizzes and games on Merriam-Webster. Well, play quizzes and games online, I guess. Play a print and play, or just chat and chill. All right. The poll is posted to YouTube. Please let me know what you want to do tonight. But while we're waiting for people to vote for that, I do have a bunch of other things I do want to chat about. Let's do that. Okay. So Eve says, "Hi Pam, you mentioned in your video journey that Shannon Lyon from Ravensburger reached out to you to ask for a pitch. Did you mention what kind of relationship you had with her previously? How did she know about you?" Okay, great question. Hello, hope you're doing well. Okay, I can't remember. I go into detail about this in my design diary. So in my design diary video and on my design diary on Board Game Geek. But essentially, I got in with Ravensburger because I introduced myself to them at the New York Toy Fair. So they had a booth at the New York Toy Fair. I just went up and I introduced myself to someone there, just some random person who was there. I said, "Hi, I'm a designer. I have a few games that I would like to show to." I don't know. I said it more eloquently. I was much more prepared. But I basically said, like, if anyone is available to hear a pitch, I have some games that I think could work for the Ravensburger line. Then this person grabbed Steve Warner, who would go on to design Lorcana. I wonder if he was even already working on that at the time. Anyway, she grabbed Steve Warner, who worked with designers, and he very kindly said, "Sure, I'll listen to your pitch." So we went to like a little side room they had there to take pitches, and I showed him, I think I just showed him one game I thought could work well for Ravensburger. And he was interested enough to give me his contact information and ask me to follow up with, sell sheet, rules, video, blah, blah, blah. And so I followed up with Steve, and I sent all that stuff. I did have some back and forth on that game. It ultimately was a no, but now I had sort of an in with Ravensburger. So after that, I stayed in communication with Steve, and he would send me, wish lists of these are the kinds of games we're looking for. So I was part of that distribution list that they had for designers that they would send out these wish lists to. Then I believe Steve moved to work exclusively on Lorcana. Shannon Lyon was hired with Ravensburger. I signed up to a Ravensburger Inventor Day, and so anyone could pitch their game to Ravensburger. And that is the first time I met Shannon, I'm pretty sure. She was the person that I pitched to at the Ravensburger Inventor Day. That was not something exclusive to me or anyone who already had a relationship with Ravensburger. That was open to anyone. So Ravensburger holds these Inventor Days sometimes. If I ever hear of these, I always include them in my newsletter. So be sure to be subscribed to my newsletter. But also join the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group. They would always usually post about these types of things. So that was the first time I met Shannon. I pitched Blob Party. That obviously did not get picked up by them, but that was my first point of contact. After that, I started getting emails from Shannon about different types of games they're looking for. Over the next year, I think, I would send her, 6 different ideas. All of them got rejected. Some of them, they wanted me to mail in a prototype. Some of them, they wanted a video. Some of them, it was just a straight up no. And then I got the email from Shannon asking to submit an idea for the Disney game. And so I don't know who else she sent that email to. I do know at least one other designer, but I don't know how many other designers she sent that email out to. But yeah, that's how I got to getting that email. So for the Toy Fair, did you go as a normal guest or did you go as part of the inventor thing? I just went as a normal guest. I was there because one of my other games, Act Fast, was on display, and that was the first time that one of my games was on display at a convention, and that was with Outset Media. So I was there primarily to see Act Fast. I didn't do any demos or I didn't do anything like that. So I essentially was just there on my own. And so I just went up to people at booths and introduced myself. I know that now there's getting more and more of a trend of conventions are getting so busy now that a lot of publishers are saying please don't walk up to the booth and expect me to be able to hear a pitch on the spot, which I totally get. And so a lot it definitely is more ideal to have pitch meetings set up beforehand. I 100% agree with that. I still think it is good, especially in the very early morning or very later in the day when it's not as busy at a convention, to introduce yourself. And, if they're too busy, give them your business card or they can give you theirs. I still think and not pushing, I really want to show you this thing. It'll only take 5 minutes, blah, blah, blah. But if you're just I just want to introduce myself. I'm a designer. I have some games that I think could work with your line. I know you're probably super busy, but I just wanted to connect with you, and I can leave a sell sheet with you if that interests you in my business card, and we can set something up for after the convention. Or if you have time now or maybe later, we could arrange some time to pitch at this convention. So yeah, it's a fine line. I know some publishers are where some people are do not approach publishers at conventions. They are way too busy, which I totally get. But it is just such a great opportunity to network and introduce yourself. And if you're not pushy, I still think it is good to at least introduce yourself to publishers you want to build a relationship with, and not at busy times. But conventions are getting so busy that maybe there's never an ideal time. So ideally, having things set up beforehand, that is ideal. Or maybe you can go to a networking event and then connect with or introduce yourself there. Yeah. Or obviously a speed pitch event if they have one. I don't know if PAX Unplugged will have a speed pitch event. Maybe they will, but I haven't heard of it. I know that BGG Con will. In fact, it might be happening right now. It might be happening as we speak. I'm pretty sure it was the Friday night at BGG Con. So good luck to everyone who might be pitching at the speed pitch event at BGG Con. So Eves is asking if there are inventor relations people at conventions. And yes, there are. Almost always, yes, there are. Because they're taking pitch meetings at conventions set ahead of time. But then sometimes you might be able to pitch with a publisher, or at the very least introduce yourself and drop off sell sheets. And then, do you go to Chai Tag in Chicago, now called People of Play, I believe? Have you ever been, and would you go again? I have not been, but I've heard really good things. It's definitely geared towards mass market, toys and games, which is very cool. But it is cool, but it's just not maybe the exact scene that I would spend a lot of money trying to attend. But I have heard that it is a good place to pitch. I've heard from publishers that they like taking pitches at Chai Tag. That is kind of set up as a pitching event. But yeah, I haven't been. I would love to maybe go one year, but I think it is a bit expensive, if I remember correctly. And it is geared very heavily towards mass market. So I'm not sure. Has anyone in the chat gone to Chai Tag, and what did you think about it? Yeah. But speaking of conventions I will be going to PAX Unplugged. 100%. Flight is booked. I will be there. I'll be at the Ravensburger booth pretty much the whole time, demoing Chronicles of Light, 9:30 to 6:30, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to come by and say hi, that would be very cool. And I will be meeting with some of my members at PAX Unplugged. So if you want to meet up, play some games, hang out, you can still join and find out those details and join us for a members meetup at PAX, which I'm very, very excited to meet some of you in person. And that'll be super fun. I really enjoyed meeting some of you at Gen Con. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you at PAX as well. I'm also hosting a meetup for my board game besties. So that's for women who design games specifically. So if you fall into that category and you want to meet up with us, be sure to join the Board Game Besties Facebook group. Just search Board Game Besties, join that group, and you can see the event details in there. I posted the event today. So very excited about that. But yeah, if you can't go to either of those and you're going to be at PAX, please make sure to come by the Ravensburger booth and say hello. Is it a good time to pitch to publishers? Are you talking about PAX, Eve? You're talking about PAX Unplugged? If you're talking about PAX Unplugged, I haven't been before, so I don't know how busy it is. But I from what I've heard, I think it is pretty busy. I do know that the OP have posted publicly that they are accepting. That they want to schedule pitch meetings ahead of time with designers. So if you make party games or hobby games, so the OP have done Gnome Hollow, Tapple, Hues and Cues, Flip 7, a bunch of games. And so like Gnome Hollow is a strategy game, and there's all those other ones are party games. So if you are going to PAX Unplugged, you can reach out to Tony Cerebriani if you have a party game, or Pat Marino if you have a hobby game. And so when Tony posted about this, he did not include email addresses. He just said, message me if you want to set up a meeting for party games, and connect with Pat if you want to set up a meeting for hobby games. And he just tagged Pat. So I'm assuming it's okay to DM them on Facebook. So if you have games that you want to pitch, set that up with the OP ASAP. So if you just go to the Board Game Design Labs Facebook group and you just search Tony, or you just look at some of the most recent posts, you should see that post from Tony talking about accepting pitch meetings for PAX. Besides the OP, I do believe Office Dog have publicly said that they're accepting pitch meetings, I think. Actually, in my newsletter, I list all the ones accepting pitch meetings for at PAX. Let me just quickly find that, just because we're on the subject of it. But yes, in general, if you can have meetings set up ahead of time, that is much more ideal than going up to publishers just walking up. But I think it's still a good idea just to introduce yourself and not have any expectations that they'll have time to accept a pitch, but at the very least, introduce yourself if there's a publisher you have been wanting to connect with and you weren't able to set up a meeting beforehand. That's my opinion. Other people might feel differently. Okay, so let me just see. I'm just going through my newsletter here. Okay. Publishers accepting pitches at PAX: Plaid Hat Games and Origami Whale Games. Okay, but Plaid Hat Games, it says that they specifically are looking for call for pitches from women and BIPOC designers. So, FYI, if you fit in either of those categories, let me see if they mention this on their website or if I need to post this in the chat. News. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'm on the Plaid Hat website. News. Let's see if it's in here. No. Okay, but this is the person apparently you need to connect with if you want to set up a meeting to pitch your game at PAX. This is public information. So I'm going to post this in the, the two computer thing is so annoying sometimes. I can't just copy and paste So let me just type it out. Okay, so Plaid Hat Games call for pitches from women and BIPOC designers. Email Nikki at plaidhatgames.com. There you go. Let me share this over on Twitch as well. Now, the other one is from a publisher I actually hadn't heard of before called Origami Whale Games. Call for pitches for party and hobby games and just email them. Let's look at their website together here. So I saw this because they posted on some group on Facebook saying they're accepting pitch meetings at PAX. I haven't heard of their games. I think they might be fairly new, but that can be nice because maybe you'll get a bit more responsiveness and attention if they're a bit of a newer or smaller publisher. So their two games are Dicey Devices and Danger the Game. But they say that they're looking for party or hobby games. So let me share this information in the chat as well. So this is Origami Whale Games call for pitches for party and hobby games. Email info at origamiwhalegames.com. There you go. So there's two. And like I mentioned, the op is also accepting pitch meetings. The op also accepting pitch meetings. Find the post by Tony Cerebriani in the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group. And then I think DM him for party games or Pat Marino for hobby games. They posted this on the Board Game Geek Facebook group. They posted it in the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group, so I'm pretty sure that's fine for me to share here as well. And I believe what they want you to do is just DM them because they did not include email addresses. So Eve, are you going to PAX? Are you hoping to pitch to publishers? Let's check out the poll right now. It's 50% between play a print and play and chat and chill. So I'll let that poll keep going while we continue to chat and see if it sways one way or the other. But yeah, so I will be at PAX Unplugged, which I'm very, very excited about. And I will be at Terminal City Con in Vancouver. That's my local convention. They will have a speed puzzling competition this year, which I'm super excited about. And I believe it will be, here I'll show you their website. This is Terminal City Con in Vancouver, March 14th to 16th. It's primarily about gaming, not so much about playtesting. Sorry, I'm just looking at this picture to see. I'm like, maybe I'm in this picture. This is from a couple years ago. I recognize the venue. I'm just seeing if I can see myself. Maybe I do not. There's Hot Banana Games. That's the two local designers, Marie and Pauline. They made Steam Up and Moon Bunny. Anyway, so at this convention, It's primarily about gaming, which I enjoy. I just go there to play games. It's nice to just play games for a weekend. They do have a prototype alley, but it's more like demo alley, which is totally fine. But it's more people promoting their Kickstarters, their upcoming Kickstarters. They're not really looking for feedback. But yeah, this is the proto alley. Yeah, are you a designer looking to show off your game at TCTC? So it's not really about playtesting. It's more about just look at this game I've done, and I'll be putting it on Kickstarter. But it is very cool to see a bunch of locally made or others hopping out of those. I did play Moon Bunny last year. That was cool. Anyway, there's Julia's game Deli Dash. Cool. Julia brought this to Vancouver Playtest, so I did get to play it recently. That was fun. Oh, that's Jay Cormier's company. He did Mind Management, a bunch of other games. I think, Junk Art. A lot of games co-designed with Sen Fung Lim. Anyway, there's Violet Daisy Games. That's Anna Maria Phelps, who came out with this game with Emma Larkins, who did Abandon All Artichokes. What was that game about the stars? Something with sky, stars in the sky, something like that. Great designer, Emma Larkins. Anyway, so I will be at Terminal City for sure, just playing games. So if you're there as well, please say hello. Hey Valiant, how you doing? Printing out a prototype today. Playtesting it will be a pain. It's designed as casual, lightweight 4-player game. Why will playtesting be a pain? Tell me. I do understand playtester pain though. I am almost running out of energy for a Book Nook. I am still excited about it. I am still very excited about it, but I am fatigued, you might say. And playtesting can be a slog sometimes. I mean, a lot of the time, especially for more complicated games. There are a lot of work to update, and then there are a lot of work to playtest and write down all the notes and just have people, rip it apart, rebuild it, rip it apart, rebuild it. And I know obviously that's the whole part of the playtesting process. I get it, but it can be a little draining. I completely understand that. I feel like, and I talked about this in my newsletter last week, I do feel like I'm over kind of the biggest hump of the playtesting process for Book Nook. I think the changes that I'm making feel like they're getting smaller and smaller. They're still, fairly significant. If you watched if you tuned into the co-working stream a couple days ago, I spent 2 hours updating the player map, which I'm very excited about. I wasn't sure when I was making it. I thought it looked too busy. But when I play tested it on Wednesday night, man, things worked so much smoother, so much less management of moving the cubes around and stuff. But, that was another 2 hours to update the player mat and then another 2 hours to update everything else in a rush to get it done for the playtest the next day. Now I need to transcribe my notes from that playtest, update it for another playtest tomorrow. I was thinking about updating the prototype tonight on stream, but I just didn't have time to print everything, get that all prepped before streaming. So I'm going to have to do that tomorrow morning before I playtest all day again tomorrow. So yeah, it can be a lot. But at the end of the day, I do still really enjoy it because of those moments where you see things finally start to work and you see that magic of things the puzzle pieces finally starting to fit together and the image of the puzzle finally appearing, because we're essentially trying to put together a puzzle without a picture, and we're making up the shapes of the pieces as we go when we're making a game. So yeah, it can be a lot, but it can be very, very rewarding if you can push through that and then you finally see things start to come together. Eve has been to Mojo Online. I actually haven't heard of that. Oh no, Mojo. Was it Mojo Nation or something? Do they do like an award ceremony? Mojo. Yeah, Mojo Nation. I don't 100% know. Oh, UK Toy Inventors Dinner. Yeah, so is it more like a UK thing? Oh, there you go. You literally said UK thing. Love it. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I see Valiant saying it's only me. I'm legally blind, and getting out to things to conventions are a challenge at times. Playtesting takes time. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm sorry you have to deal with another hurdle. That's really frustrating, but hopefully things can come together for you and you can see that spark and have fun with your playtesters and it all kind of come together. The game involves hand shedding and I'm playtesting 8 suits, but made copies to test lower number of suits for player counts. Nice. Well, best of luck with that. You got it. You can do it. Very exciting. But yes, I do know it can be a very frustrating process, especially when you have additional like limitations that you're dealing with. So good for you, Valiant. Like that's awesome. Checking in on the poll. If you haven't voted yet, be sure to vote on what you want to do tonight. We've got play games and quizzes online. I can print and play and we can play it together or just chat and chill. I mean, so far it's been almost an hour and we're just chatting and chilling, which is I'm enjoying. So, yes, mentioned playtesting Book Nook. Oh yeah, so with Book Nook, I cut a darling a few days ago. A big part of the game that I added like 10 iterations ago was about like decorating your Book Nook with plants and lamps and chairs and coffee mugs and stuff like that to make it like a cozy corner. And I love the idea of that, but it just wasn't really working. Like I mainly added it because I wanted to add another layer of complexity, like another puzzle for people to think about, another way for players to get points and fit it into everything else. But it just wasn't quite working. It felt disjointed. Although when I did have it at a certain point where it was more about like just taking it for points and then just literally putting it wherever you want in your Book Nook and just decorating your little area, and where you place it didn't matter. And that's how I had it for a while. And then I pitched it to some publishers and they were like, I totally get what you're trying to do here. And if you want to keep that vibe, that chill vibe of just place it wherever you want, doesn't matter. That's great. But if you want to tap into more of like the gamers who would want to have more intention behind the placement of these things, then that would be something that we would be interested in seeing. So I tried to have the decor be like polyomino shapes and have it be more of like a puzzle of where you place them. I did add things to the bookshelf, so when you cover something, you get that reward, which has been working out very well. But I've just been trying to make this decor more integrated into the game and more of like a puzzle with more intention of where you place things having meaning and like consequences. But it just wasn't working. And I just felt like, you know what? The focus is supposed to be on books. It's not about decorating and filling your shelves with other things. But the main issue was I wrote out like how someone could speed run the game and win by just filling their shelves with decor and like practically no books. And I found that I think it was in like 13 turns someone could win with like 27 points by just filling their shelves with decor. So I was like, that feels broken. So I got rid of the decor completely. I play tested on Wednesday. Things did work very well. I did like how the focus was on the books and I didn't miss the decor puzzle. But the playtesters I played with, they did play the game when they had the decor, and they did say that they found a lot of joy in decorating their little corner. And I remembered something that a playtester said. It was actually Roberta Taylor, the designer of Creature Comforts, Cafe Barras, and a bunch of other games. She said, being able to pick out my own little plant and place it in my book nook gave me so much joy. And so we shouldn't take statements like that too lightly when playtesters say it. That's what we're trying to do at the end of the day, right? Is to bring people joy through the things that we create. And so I was like, I think I need to bring the decor back. But I think we have solved the issue of feeling like placing things on shelves needs to have intention and be part of a puzzle. Because, like I said, on the player mat, let me just show you. This is an old player mat. It's like 4 days old, but it's old at this point. When you place something on the shelves now, whatever you cover, you'll get that reward. This is now 3x4. And I've added public objectives for how you place the books on your shelves. So the first player to have 2 pairs of matching books next to each other on different shelves gets 8 points. Then the next player to do it gets 4, and anyone else gets 2. Any player who gets alternating books on a shelf gets 8 points, and then 4, and then 2, or whatever. So that sort of pattern making is still there, but just with books. I had it before, like have a cat between 2 romance books, have a plant next to a sci-fi above a business book or whatever. And it just wasn't working, and it was almost too restrictive because romance books can only go there. So obviously a cat between 2 romance books has to go there. But if I could have made it a cat between any 2 matching books. But I have kept that puzzle aspect with just the books. Now, what I will do is once you have read a certain number of books, instead of just being like, you get 8 points for reaching this level, it's going to be, you can now place a piece of decor in your book nook, and that will be worth points. And where you place it doesn't matter. It's just, you want to put a plant here, you want to put a plant on the floor, you want to put a cat on the chair, you want to put a side table with a coffee mug on it, you can do whatever. You can decorate however you want. It's just worth points. And anyone who doesn't care about that, they can just keep the token on the side and just keep it for points. But people who do enjoy that whimsy can have a good time decorating their book nook. That is what I am trying tomorrow. Hopefully it works. That does mean that now I'm going to have to print and cut out a bunch of decor pieces. And I think I might actually have some left over from many iterations ago when I had decor like that. But I'm excited because I think it might sort of solve a few problems. Like I think the main problems might all possibly be solved tomorrow, hopefully. Please. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But in general, I think it's going in the right direction. So what's the process you go through when picking a game to play on a live stream? To be honest, I usually just go to the Tabletopia. Well, yeah, I go to the Tabletopia website and I look at the books or the games that I have bookmarked. Let's take a look at Tabletopia. But if there's like, if there's a game that has just come out and here, let's look at the Tabletopia website. So I'll just take a look. I'll look at my bookmarks. It would be cool if all these bookmarks just showed up in a grid instead of having to click through like this. I think you can, but anyway, these are my bookmarks. So yeah, I would just click through like Red Cathedral. That's by the same designers as White Castle. Bitoku Tapestry, Everdell Spirecrest. We played that a few weeks ago. White Castle. I'll just click through, but a lot of these are like 2 to 4. So if I haven't arranged for anyone to join me on stream, I'll try to make sure to find something that's 1 and up. And then I'll click into it. Like, let's click into this. And yeah, it's saying 1.5 to 3 hours. That's too long, especially if I'm just learning it for the first time. So I'll look to see, and then I'll also look at the weight of the complexity, which I don't think, I don't think they show here, which it would be cool if they added that. But if you go to the BGG link, yeah, 4.2. That's too heavy for a stream. That's too much. But if I'm not sure, I'll then watch a how to play video, like a playthrough. And then if I feel like, oh, okay, I understand it, I think I can figure this out on a live stream, then I'll play it. That's usually the process I go through. But like, obviously there's a lot going on here. I don't know if that'd be too fun, me trying to figure out how to play that for the first time on my own on stream. So try to pick something that looks fun. Maybe ideally something I've played once before. But I mean, the idea though for playing games on stream is that I do want to play games that are new to me, because I want to always be playing as many new games as possible so I can learn and be exposed to as many different kinds of games as possible. Okay, so Eva's saying Mojo Pitch allows you to meet a lot of publishers within 2 days while staying home. It's all online on video calls. That is very cool. Mojo Pitch. I'm going to add that to my newsletter. I always keep track of things to include in upcoming newsletters, especially pitching opportunities. So thank you for letting us know about that. And I'm going to very quickly add that to my newsletter document. I really love how more and more events are having online pitching opportunities, because it really sucks how a lot of times they have to be in-person things, and that's just not, realistic for a lot of people. It's not attainable for a lot of people. So yay for more online pitching opportunities. Okay, that was Mojo Pitch online. Cool. Thank you for that. And then what tool do you use to keep track of who you have contacted for each game? I'm now using Airtable, and that helped me a lot. I have not heard of Airtable, but I just use a spreadsheet. I just use a good old Google Sheet, and I write out. So I'll have a tab, like a spreadsheet for each game. And yeah, I don't do the best job of keeping this entirely up to date, but I try to. I'll make a tab for each game, and then I'll write out the publishers that I've pitched to, and then I make a drop-down list of the status about whether I've pitched to them, whether I'm waiting to hear back from them, whether they've requested a prototype, requested a video, if it's been dropped, if it's been licensed, whatever. So yeah, I just use a spreadsheet and it's fine. Cool. So Airtable, I've not heard of that. But I will check it out. Thanks for letting us know about that. Yeah, one other thing I wanted to talk about, and until Print and Play gets more votes than chill and chat, I'm just going to continue to chill and chat. So I've talked about during the co-working streams that I have been working on this project for a PR firm. They reached out to me to ask me to make a game for one of their clients as like a promo thing to sort of highlight one of their new products and that they can sell in support of this new product launch. So this is a new sort of thing for me. And so I basically came up with 10 concepts for this game. I presented those 2 weeks ago now, or last week. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And, oh no, it was last week. Anyway, I presented 10 different concepts for this game. Then they picked four. They picked the four they liked the best. It was supposed to be 3, but they picked 4. And they're like, which of these 4 do you think should be the top 3 that we make prototypes for? And I was like, you know what? I'll just make prototypes for all 4. Because to be honest, I didn't love 2 of the 3 that they picked. And so I wanted to have 2 of the ones that I preferred over those 2. Anyway, so I made 4 digital prototypes Wednesday and Thursday. Today, I then met with this company online and played through these prototypes on Tabletopia with them so they could see how they played. Now they're going to, I guess, show these to the client, and then the client will pick their favorite one. That one then I will then playtest as much as possible, refine it as much as possible, and then send them the files for the rules and all the content and everything that they would need to then go print it and manufacture it. So that's been a very interesting process. It's been a very cool creative exercise to have to come up with 10 entirely different games with a specific requirements and parameters. Like, it needs to be easy to learn, fun to play, quick to play, and promote the product in a positive way. And it also need to have some other specific things related to the product. So yeah, that was a really good workout for the creative muscles. And so it was actually, I realized, essentially like a microcosm of that video that I made of this is what I would do to get a game published in 6 months. And I'm pretty sure step 1 was come up with 10 game ideas. So that's what I did here. Come up with your 10 game ideas, pick the top 3 or so, make prototypes, playtest them, see which one has the most potential, and then focus on that one. So I'm like speed running that, essentially, that PDF that I made for that video. But I really do think it's been really good to go through that process again with a time crunch. Because a lot of the times we can come up with one idea and then just go with that. But I really do think coming up with as many ideas as possible and then looking at everything you've come up with, then whittling that down. Yeah, so that was a very cool project. I'm still working on. Hopefully it'll be done soon. Do you ever pitch the same game to a publisher twice, such as they show interest the first time but don't go through with it, and after a year of changes, would you go back to them or rule them out? I have done that. I actually did that at Gen Con a couple of years ago with my Courier game, my Courier City game, because I felt like I had made so many changes to improve it. It was so drastically different from the first time I had pitched it, but they were all still no's. And so part of me was like, maybe I shouldn't have even wasted their time. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it was different enough to really change their mind. So no, I have not had any success with pitching the same game. There were a few publishers that I pitched that same one to that they had already previously said no. I have not had any success pitching the same game to the same publisher twice. That's a tough thing to do to sway their minds after they've already given that initial no. But I mean, I don't know. You could still throw it out there, I guess. But I think it might be better to show them something new. Yeah. And are you paying for these prototypes out of pocket? You said you did for all 4, but that would add up over time if you're sending to many publishers for each. These are digital prototypes that I'm talking about. These are not physical prototypes. These are digital ones on Tabletopia. So the only thing that costs is my time. But for physical prototypes, unfortunately, a lot of publishers, including very large corporations, don't cover shipping costs, and they definitely don't cover printing costs or your time to make the prototypes that they're asking for you to send them. Unfortunately, I do wish that was not the norm, but it seems to be. So yeah, if a publisher asks for a physical prototype, you will most likely be paying for all the printing, your time, and the shipping of the prototype. The publisher should ship it back to you at their expense if it's a no. Even if it's a yes and you want your prototype back, they should pay for that shipping back to you. But I don't get like professionally printed prototypes. Like I don't have the game crafter print my prototypes. I make them myself. I print them at home. I cut them myself. So this doesn't cost that much to make a physical prototype. It's mainly the time and then the shipping, especially from Canada. I have spent hundreds of dollars shipping prototypes to companies that could very easily cover that cost. But anyway. Yeah, so they say I've made some changes, but it also isn't different enough. The 3 publishers each took prototypes at PAX Unplugged last year, but I was against the idea for the same wasting their time idea. Okay, so 3 publishers took prototypes home, but then they never followed up, or like what happened after they took the prototypes? Were they all no's? So yeah, I'm all about first impressions, but printing 5 copies on Game Crafter for each gets expensive over time. Yeah, I definitely would not print. I mean, personally, I do not get my prototypes printed with the Game Crafter. I think the Game Crafter is a really great resource if you are demoing your game ahead of a Kickstarter launch, but you don't need that level of prototype to send to a publisher to test it. Those prototypes are expensive and it's not necessary. So they say I've started printing just one to show off and then making the other ones myself to give out. Yes. I mean, I still even make just my one to show off. But yeah, sure. If you want to have one fancy one from Game Crafter, you can definitely do that. But yeah, I only ever have one copy of my prototype. I will only make another physical prototype if a publisher asks for it. I won't have multiple copies on the ready, like at the go, because my prototypes are constantly changing. It's not a final complete product. Not until it is sent to the printer, to like the manufacturer, is it a final, is it done. So I personally would never make multiple copies until a publisher asks me to mail them one. So no follow-up. That really sucks. I'm really sorry about that. So they asked for 3 publishers, took prototypes, and none of them followed up. Publishers should not ask for physical prototypes if they don't have an intention or if they won't follow up. At the very least, say, sorry, we play tested it. It's a no. We're going to send the prototype back to you. But to not even follow up at all, and they didn't return the prototypes to you? I'm really sorry about that. Publishers should not do that. I really want to make a video about if I was a publisher, these are the things that I would do. Cover shipping costs if I request a physical prototype. Only ask for a physical prototype if I'm very serious about potentially considering this and I understand how the game plays. Like, this one publisher asked me to mail them a physical prototype. This is one of the ones that cost me over $100 to ship it to them because, of course, they needed it rushed. I made it super fast. It took forever to make. Mailed it to them, rushed. And they took months to get back to me. And once they got back to me, yes, you guessed it, it was a no. But their no was like, oh, we just don't think... we think it's a bit too complicated for our target audience or something like that. It was something that they could have gleaned if they took 2 seconds to look at the sell sheet or the rules. This was a high level thing. This was not like, oh, like this particular thing didn't really work with this, or like we found that blah, blah, blah. When they mailed this back to me, I could tell they had not even opened it. They had not even opened it. They had not played it. Sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm getting heated. I have not and I will not send that company a prototype again. I will not engage. They are on the do not engage list. So someone was asking earlier how I keep track of the publishers that I send games to. So yes, I have tabs for each game to show which publishers I have sent it to and the status of that. But I also, in that same spreadsheet, have a tab for publishers and which ones I think are high priority, medium, low, and then do not engage. That publisher is on do not engage because you asked me to make you a physical prototype, rush ship it to you, take months to respond. And then when you do, it's a no based on obviously reading the rules for the first time. And you didn't even play it. It was very obvious they had not even opened any of the bags, any of the components. It was all exactly as I had mailed it to them. Anyway, I'm very sorry that happened to you. Unfortunately, this does happen often. So yeah, all you can really do is add them to do not engage and don't follow up with them anymore. I think it's a good thing that so many new publishers are popping up. So hopefully the ratio can get a bit better of designers to publishers. And then publishers will have to work a little harder to keep our business and to work with us. And be a bit more communicative, responsive, and respectful of our time. Um, yeah, I'm glad you like that idea for a video. Like I've had that idea for a while. Um, yeah, I might do that. I mean, I don't want to come across as like ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful, but there are a lot of, there's not a lot of rules and regulations and standards. It's just kind of the wild west out here where it's just publishers are kind of just doing whatever, and they know they can kind of get away with whatever they want because there's a lineup of designers waiting to work with them. So yeah. But if you ever come across really good publishers, you want to really maintain that relationship, and there are some really good ones out there for sure. Yeah, so after that, you started looking into just publishing it yourself. So maybe you can help the ratio in the future. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a reason that I am looking into self-publishing as well. But I still do not want to self-publish a physical product. But I'm looking into self-publishing print and plays, self-publishing a mobile game, self-publishing on the Game Crafter, which is a print-on-demand service. So there's none of that risk involved with overseeing the manufacturing of hundreds or thousands of units of a physical product and then dealing with a ton of unforeseen expenses, potential tariffs added to China, whatever is going on. Like Canada Post just went on strike. Dealing with a ton of these things, personally, I still do not want to deal with that. But I can see how nice it would be to be, in control of your game and to have the full creative control and just to, I'm sure it must be such a fulfilling and proud thing to be able to hold in your hands something that, you made and you oversaw the manufacturing of it. I mean, I still feel a lot of pride and fulfillment holding a game that someone else dealt with the manufacturing and distribution and shipping of. So I don't know. I am kind of seeing it more and more as well. The benefits, the upside of self-publishing your own games, or starting your own publishing company. And, after having been a designer for many years, and then I'm sure you would act in a more responsive, communicative, respectful way because you've been on the other side. So which online prototyping program do you prefer? I think that's what you're asking, Valiant. You mentioned Tabletopia. Is that complicated to work with? I personally prefer Tabletopia. I know a lot of people prefer Tabletop Simulator. There's also screentop.gg. I have not used screentop.gg. I have used Tabletop Simulator. I found Tabletop Simulator incredibly difficult to understand and not intuitive at all. Was not a great experience for me. I was able to make games though. I was able to figure it out, but it took a lot of YouTube, like watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot of tutorials, and it was a steep learning curve for me. Tabletopia, I find, is a lot more intuitive. A lot of dragging and dropping. It's very obvious how to create a new game and how to bring in components and materials, how to set up a game. I personally really, really enjoy Tabletopia. It's way easier to learn than Tabletop Simulator, in my opinion. There still is, a learning curve. Still will take a little bit to get used to, but I find it way more user-friendly, for sure. Okay, so you've done physical products in other spaces, so you have experience with manufacturing and shipping international/expenses. Okay, well, that's great. If you already have that experience, that's a huge asset. Yeah. That's great. I don't, and like I want my focus to be on designing games. I don't want to then add a whole nother full-time job of learning how manufacturing, shipping, distribution, fulfillment, blah blah, how that all works. Like I'm sure it's very interesting once you like learn all of it, but I do not want to be spending that time on that. I want to be spending my time making games. So as of right now, that's not gonna work for me. But if you already have that experience, that's awesome. I mean, I would definitely look into that. Like if you already know a lot of these things and you've already brought a physical product to market, that's huge. Yeah, so that being said, I also only do 200 to 300 product runs in other spaces to lower the risk. But board games, I would have to do 500 to 1,000 minimum. Yeah. Yeah, probably. And that's the scary thing too, is like, well, if you're not able to sell that many, well, I guess that's why you do the Kickstarter first, right? Do the Kickstarter first. Make sure you raise enough money before you then print the thing. But if you're not, I guess, yeah, so you need to make sure that your Kickstarter minimum will make sure it covers the minimum with the factory, so that you don't have units just sitting around it in your garage, unless you then, I guess, plan on selling them on Amazon or your own web store or something. But what if those don't move and they're just sitting around? I don't know. Yeah. Sorry. There just might be another troll. Yeah. Only 30% of the time is designing, but the control/freedom would be great. Yeah, I agree. It could be really nice. If you already have some of those skills, I would definitely seriously explore that. Anyway, um, yeah, so speaking of these streams, I have been really enjoying them, doing them more consistently the past couple of months. Co-working streams on Tuesdays, these hangouts on Friday nights. Just a heads up that I will be traveling for 2 weeks starting like November 25th. So I won't be doing the co-working stream or the Friday night chat for 2 weeks, the end of November and the first week of December. So the end of November because I will be traveling, and then December because I'll be at PAX. So just a heads up. I have tonight and then next Friday. But then after that, there'll be a bit of a break. I also I still haven't had time to make any videos, like edited videos for my channel. So I do apologize for that. It's just been very, very busy. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Stonemaier Games, they ran an auction this week. They had 10 different content creators, and I was one of them. And we each picked a charity to promote and like to share with people. So mine was Doctors Without Borders. And so anyone, like all the thumbs up that my post got, Stonemaier will donate that amount of money to Doctors Without Borders. And then a bunch of people made bids to win like this package from Stonemaier Games. And I just want to thank everyone who bid donations for that. I think the winning bid was like $1,100. So thank you so much to everyone who bid for that and to the winner of the auction. I just want to give a shout out to them. Here, I'll show you the auction page. Yeah, see you later, Dyslexia. It was nice chatting with you. Thanks for sharing some of the stuff that you have dealt with and some of your thoughts on that. Best of luck with everything. Hey, Mike. You're welcome, Eve. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking so many interesting questions. Okay. So here is the auction page. And so this is this is the prize pack that the winning bid got. It's actually pretty amazing. You can get a custom Wormspan box featuring your favorite 5 dragons. So you can pick your favorite 5 dragons and then get them on the box. Like, sorry I'm telling you all about this. The auction is over, so that you can't get this anymore. But the people who made the winning bids will get all of this. Like, how cool would that be to have a custom Wormspan game box? Oh my god, it's so annoying. Can you trolls go away? You're so annoying. Sorry. So I'm on troll alert. They're all just like 13-year-olds, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. Yeah, so you can get a custom Wormspan game box, stamp swap, Rolling Realms, Expeditions, Apiary expansion, a pack of Wormspan eggs, Wormspan enamel pins, tray variety pack, and then free shipping. Like, wow, what an awesome, that's like so cool. But especially the custom Wormspan box. So anyway, here, oh yeah, so there's a picture of all the prizes. So cool. So yeah, was my little section. And so thank you to everyone who bid. And yeah, Nick Mitchell had the highest bid. Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate that. And then Jamie will match, I believe, will match the donation. Yeah, on Tuesday, I'll make the match donations. So thank you so much to Nick and everyone else who bid. Garrett, Don, Tim, Andrew, Nick, and Stuart. And thank you to Jamie for running that. So yes, it's for Doctors Without Borders is the charity that I picked. Yeah, so they do really, really important and dangerous work. So yeah, that was something pretty cool that happened this week. One of my favorite current YouTube channels, Board Game Ramblings, was also there. Board Gaming Ramblings. So that was cool to see them there too. A sign of popularity when you attract trolls. I guess so. I mean, yeah, I'll try to see it as a positive. Okay, so now we've got 20% want to play games, 40% want to play print and play, and 40% want to chat and chill. So I'm going to keep chatting and chilling so we get a clear winner. Yeah, YouTube has a serious troll problem. Like, I'm pretty sure I've had 3 trolls today in an hour and 20 minutes. Like, yeah, they have a real serious spam, bot, and troll issue. And they really, really need to clamp down on that. Like, they need to figure it out. Anyway, I should probably get a moderator for YouTube, because sometimes I'm not I'm not focused on the chat 100% of the time. Sometimes I'm playing a game, or sometimes I'm looking at something. Like when those wave of trolls came that one time, I was I was very, very focused on something, and I didn't notice for like a while, and they were just like flooding the chat, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, you're welcome, Valiant. No problem. Best of luck with Tabletopia. Yeah, Tabletopia is a great way to be able to playtest online. For sure. I playtested today using Tabletopia. It was a very handy tool for sure. Yeah, I wanted to mention the Stonemeyer auction, that I'll be away for 2 weeks. The project I've been working on with that PR firm. One other thing I wanted to mention too, and I wish I could show you on screen, but it's on my other computer, is I have been using Affinity to design a logo for my, like, the indie studio, which is just me and my other video game development partner. For our little indie game studio, I've been working on making a logo for us in Affinity. So if you haven't heard of this program, it is essentially Illustrator. It's essentially Adobe Illustrator, but there's no subscription monthly fee like Adobe has implemented. Even though it's been like 10 years now, I'm still salty about it. It's just a one-time payment, but they also give you like a 6-month trial. So I'm in the middle of a 6-month trial. I will most likely be paying for the program at the end of it, because it is so powerful. It is so nice. I mean, you don't need this kind of stuff for your board game design, really, but it is really nice for if you're doing logos, or if you're doing your own art or things like that. But I've been really, really impressed with Affinity. What do they call it? Affinity Designer. Affinity Designer. So highly recommend checking that out. I've been having a ton of fun working on logos in there. And it's amazing how much I remembered from using Illustrator years ago. I remember a bunch of shortcuts. I remember how things work. I remember, like, yeah, it's all still up there. So that's been really, really fun doing that kind of stuff again. So highly recommend Affinity Designer if you want to make any more like logos or detailed graphics for your board games, for sure. Yeah. So why don't we, since the print and play is technically tied for first, and we have been chatting for an hour and a half, why don't we go ahead and print this print and play? See what that's about. So, okay. I'll let you look at this while I print it out, because I do have to print it out on my other computer. So this is the game we are going to be playing today. It's a 1-pager P&P called Raging Bulls. Looks very cool. I'm just going to print it over here real quick. But how are y'all doing? Where are you all watching from? I love seeing where everyone is tuning in from around the world. Yeah, I really like this because it's 1 page, so I don't have to cut anything, I don't have to glue anything, I don't have to fold anything, whatever. You just print it and you play it. But also, it's very low ink. which I really appreciate. Like, I don't know if you saw last week when I was thinking about printing this game called Grove, which I've heard really good things about. And I hope to, you know, be able to play it one day. But personally, I don't want to be using up that much ink to print a print and play game. Yeah, that's just me. But if it's a low ink option like this, yes. Because in that game, I'm pretty sure they did not offer a low ink option. But this is something I really like about this one. It is not much ink at all. So here it is. Just like that, we have a game. Yay. Okay, let's head over to the print and play cam. Very exciting. Wow. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. There we are. So I'm just going to bring up the rules. I believe I need, I think it said like 5 dice, but I think I only really need 2. Where are my dice? I think they might be under my, okay, just bear with me for a moment. Okay. My dice are under my computer. Okay. Okay, I'll get 5 just in case. There we go. Okay. We will also need a pen and a ruler. I have not played this, but I did read the rules beforehand. So, also Twitch, how you doing over there? Say hello if you're in the chat. Where are you watching from? What's going on? How you doing? Okay, so let's get the rules. Actually, I'll bring the rules up on this computer so I can look at it with you. Let's go back here for a second. Let's go here. Let's go here. Okay. Files, rules. Okay. So, let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Cool. By Mark Tuck. La la la. So to start, we're going to be rolling 2 dice. They say 2 different colored dice, but it's not really necessary. We'll just remember which is which. But basically, you're going to roll 2 dice, and you are going to place these little circles, which represent bowls, at those intersections, and that will set up your field. And the goal of the game is to enclose all of the bowls so that they don't hurt each other, they don't attack each other. So these lines going across the grid, these are fences that we're making. So this fence up here isn't anything you see here. This fence is just for visual interest, is not part of the game. So what we are doing is we are building fences by drawing these straight lines between 2 of the sides. But to start, we will be adding these circles at different intersections. Those will show us which areas we need to enclose with these lines. So you can see this bowl is perfectly enclosed because it has lines all the way around it. So we would get full points for that. This bowl, it's not enclosed on this side, so it would not get full points. This one is not fully enclosed on this side, so it would not get full points. So that's basically how you win. Once we have built our fences, we will then be rolling 3 dice and choosing 2 of those dice to connect our fences with. Then there's rules about if you roll a pair and you roll a 3 of a kind. So let's We'll just get to those if and when that happens. So first of all, let's set up our bowls. Okay, so this will be, so we're going to start here. And you see it gets progressively harder. It might be a little hard to see. But there are 3 little circles here showing that this area will have 3 bowls that we have to enclose. This one will have 4 bowls that we have to enclose, 5, and then 6. So it gets progressively more difficult. So here is for the row is 2. Yeah, we're just going to say we don't need 2 dice. We only really need 1. So it's 2 and 2. That's what our first bowl is. 2 and 2. Little circle right there. Okay, good. You can see that. Next one, 3 and 2. Oh, boy. Uh-oh, this is going to be tough. They're right next to each other. Uh-oh. And then 6 and 3. 6 and 3. Those are the 3 bowls that we need to enclose with fences. So now we're going to be rolling 3 dice, choosing 2. We got 4, 2, and 5. So we can choose 2 of these, and then we're going to try to enclose these 3. So for this, we really need, 2. The fence lines obviously also can't go through a bowl, like through the circle. So to get between these 2, we really need a 2 and a 5. And you know what? That's exactly what we've got. 2 and 5. Yay! That's not touching. It looks like it might be touching, but it's not. I mean, it still kind of looks like it's touching, but I swear it's not. See? It's definitely not. It's definitely not. I promise you. All right, let's go again. 1, 4, and 3. Okay. 1 and 4 could be nice because it will get the other side of that guy. 4 and 1 is not helpful. Well, actually, no, it would be helpful, 4 and 1, because then that would enclose both of those on that side. So that's something to consider. 3 and 4. Oh, also, you can't ever use the same node twice unless you roll a pair. I'm pretty sure. So if you roll 2 2s, that's the only time we could use this 2. And we really do need to use that 2 to get this guy. Actually, no, we could do 3 and 6. So let's not worry about that too much. I kind of like this one. Kind of like that one because it gets both of those, gets fences for both of those. Do you see a better option? We got 4 and 3 does the same thing. So, okay, I'm just going to go for it with 1 and 3. 1 to 3. All right. So each of these have fences on 2 sides already. So I'd say that's a pretty good start. 6, 4, and 2. All right. I'm just realizing for this guy to be enclosed on this side, we will need to go out of the same node. Because if we go this way, we'll then need to go that way. I guess maybe not necessarily. We could go like that and then like that. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, so we could do that now. We could do 6 and 4. Do 6 and 4 now. And then another time do 3 and something to get the other side. I think I'm going to do that before changing my mind. Do y'all want me to try and zoom in on this, or can you see well enough? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm going to zoom in just. Aha! Ooh. Is that better? It's a little fuzzy, but might be a little easier to see what I'm doing. Okay. So yes, I was thinking about doing 6 to 4. So we could also do 6 to 4 this way. No, I think that might be too close to that. I think that's going to touch that one. For this one, we probably want 4 to 2, which we could also do with these dice. And that's actually perfect for that one. Okay, we're going to do it 4 to 2. Okay. I'm just trying to remember how. Right, so you move on once they're all enclosed, or you decide to stop because, yeah, you can leave it incomplete because, oh yeah, if you're unable to build a fence or you choose not to, mark off a mallet. Oh, over here. Mark off a mallet. So you only have 3 times that you can, if you're unable to place a fence or if you decide to move on to a new field. So these are, I guess this is the restriction there. Okay. Here we go. 6, 6, and 2. So basically we need 1 to something on this side. We need, oh, I think I may have messed up here. Because if I do the 4 here, there will be an opening there. Whoops. So we need to roll 2 3s to be able to do that, I guess. Or, I guess, 1 to 3? Whoops, what was that? Uh-oh. Did anyone see what this was? Was it a 6? Oh, no, it was out. I was off screen. Oh, dang it. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a 6. Anyway, I am looking at if 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Yeah, that could work. And that will enclose this one. Okay. Okay, so let's keep our eyes out for a 1 to 3, which is not what we've rolled. 6, 2, and 6. I'm not seeing an immediate great option here. This does nothing. This is not possible because it goes through the bowl. That's not possible because that 2 has been used already. That does not help because it leaves an opening there. Oh boy. This to there, I guess, is something. Well, no, it's redundant because of this. Oh, right. We have 2 6s, so we could go out of a 6, but we haven't even used 6 yet, so that's not helpful. 6. Yeah, so if we don't want to place... Well, I guess there's no... Yeah, I guess the reason you wouldn't want to place is because you don't want to use up one of the nodes that you couldn't then use for a future turn. Yeah, we definitely need to roll a 1. I think we just do a throwaway here, to be honest, like 6 to 6. Or 6 to... No. Maybe, honestly, 6 to 2. Just like out of the way, not causing any problems for us. Sure. I'm just going to do 6 to 2. I hope this doesn't bite us in the butt. 6 to 2. Okay, here we go. We want 1 to 3. Oh, no, wait. We want 1. Oh, yeah, 1 to 3 this way. Okay, 1 to 3. 2, 2, and 4. Okay, we got double 2s. That's actually a good thing because that means we can come out of this 2. But then I don't know if we can get to that 4 without running into the bull. No. Shoot. Okay, we could do this though. 4 to 2, and that will enclose this one. That's pretty sweet. There's no point in doing... There's no point in doing this because that leaves an opening there. I think we're doing this. Finish that one. 4 to 2. So the reason I can go here is because I rolled 2 2s. That's the only reason I can go to a node that has already been used. I'll show you the rules really quick. So rolling pairs. If 2 of the dice rolled are of the same number, then you may use them to start or finish the fence on a post of that number, even if it has already been used once. Note that a post can never be used more than twice. The third die rolled then represents the number of the other post. Yeah, which we did. Cool. All right. So that one's done. Let's see what we get now. 4, 5, and 3. Whoops. Let's put this down here. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. We can't go out of this 3 because we've already used it and we didn't roll a double. 4 to... Well, 5 to 3, actually. No. No, because that will leave a gap there. We need 1 to 3. Yeah, we need 1 to 3. 1 to 3. So can we enclose this? Yeah, we could enclose this side. 4 to 1. Or 4 to 5. Doesn't matter. I guess we might want to think ahead. We will probably want to do 4 to 1 because I don't think this 1 will be helpful in the future. This 5 wouldn't really either, though, so I don't think it matters. So if we do 4 to 1, how do we enclose this side? 5 to 6? Yeah. 5 to 6. Okay. So let's do 4 to 5. Okay. This is the easiest level. This is level 1, and I feel like I'm in a bit of a corner here. Oh, we got 2 3s. Ooh. Ooh, that means we can go out of this 3. Oh, but going down to this 6. I mean, I guess that is good for this one. That will finish that one. But we really wanted... Oh, no, this wouldn't have worked anyway. So that's fine. 3 to 6 it is. I'm fine with that. 3 to 6. Yay. Okay, I'm going to put a little check mark. This one's done. This one's done. It's just this one left. Are y'all understanding what I'm doing? Is it making sense? Okay. 2, 4, and 6. I wonder if you're allowed to do throwaway ones like this. I don't remember seeing a rule about that. No, there's no rule about that. 2, 4, and 6. So we can't go out of that 6. We can do this 6, but we can't go to that 2. So yeah. Okay, let's just do a throwaway one over here, 6 to 2. We really want double 3. Oh, no, wait. We want double 4s or a 5 and a 6. We want a 5 and a 6 or a double 4s and a 6. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is not great. So we're just gonna do a throwaway one over on this side. 6 to 2, I guess. No, let's do 4 to 2 because I don't think that 4 will help us. 4 to 2. Okay, there we go. 6, 5, and 3. Oh, yay! 5 and 6. This very fuzzy number right here is a 5. And this very fuzzy number here is a 6. That is perfect. Yay! We're so good at this game. There we go. Enclosed. Look at us go. We are cowboys. Enclosed, enclosed, enclosed. All right. Moving on to level 2. Oh, well now Chat and Chill is winning the poll. But we'll finish this one and then we'll chat a bit more before I gotta go. Okay, let's figure out where these bowls are going. Now there's 4 bowls. So this is the y-axis. I never remember which is which. Y-axis? Whatever, it's the horizontal axis. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Man, having the bowl on the edge, like 1s and 6s, is definitely more difficult. Like, objectively more difficult. Oh, wait, first. Horizontal. 4 and 6. Jinxed myself by saying that. Next one. That did not roll enough. 2 and 1. Oh boy. Not loving this. Not loving this. 2 and 2. Oh wait. No, yeah, 2 and 2. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Okay, well, let's try it. Rolling 3. 6, 3, and 3. So the pair does not help us right now because there's no fences out yet, so it doesn't matter. So we have here to here, which doesn't work because it goes over the bowl. 3 to 6 this way, which I guess could be helpful in closing this side. 6 to 3 this way, I guess technically could work. So it's fine on that side. And it's fine on that side. So maybe that might be a good one actually to go between these two. Because otherwise that might be a pretty tough split. Well, do we just do this side actually? No, because then the only way to enclose this is to get a double 3 out of that side. No, actually, no. If we do 3 to 6 this way, we could do 2 to whatever or 1 to whatever. Sorry, I'm overthinking this. Hey, Reggie, how's it going? Nice to see you. How you doing? Everyone go check out Rolling Reggie's YouTube channel. All right, 3 to 6. I'm committing. We'll see if this was the right choice, but it's happening. It's happened. All right. 2, 5, and 6. 2, 5, and yeah, I'll put this on this side. 2, 5, and 6. Okay, so if we do 2, no, there's no point in that, right? 1 to 4 basically is what we need over here. And then 1 to 1 actually would be nice. 2 to 5. Oh yeah, 2 to 5 could be good because that will separate those two this way. I think I'm going to do that. Want to recommend a book, Around the World in 80 Games. That's fun. So what's the idea? Like, is it people actually traveled around the world and brought 80 games with them? Or is it like 80 games that were invented from different places around the world? Or is it 80 games with themes from 80 places around the world? I love the name though. Okay, so I'm committing to 5 to 6 this way. I don't know if I'm fully understanding the strategy, but we're just gonna go with it. So it's a mathematician unlocking the secrets of a bunch of different games. Oh, okay, that's cool. I love that. So many mathematicians are board game designers, which makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Around the World in 80 Games. Maybe that could be a Christmas present. Cool. Okay. 5, 4, and 2. So for this one, so basically it's all about like making sure you don't have these too close together, I guess. Because like if we do there, we need to make sure we leave room to go there, right? So like if we did 5 to 4 here, well then I guess we could go this side, but then we're not using that at all. This does feel like a math problem. This feels like this could be a secret math problem disguised as a board game. 4 to 5 could work that way to separate these two. 4 to 5. Kind of like that. I think I'm just going to commit to it. I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to go on vibes. And we're committing to it. 4 to 5. Okay. Oh, you got it for Christmas too. That's awesome. Yeah, it's like once people know that you like board games, a lot of the presents you'll get will just be like something to do with board games. They'll like that for Christmas, which I love. Around the World in 80 Games on Amazon, the hardcover is actually cheaper than the paperback right now. Nice tip, Mike. Hardcover cheaper than paperback. That's wild. Have you ever shared a list of your favorite roll/flip and writes? I have not. I don't usually share like my favorite like top 10 of this genre, top 10 of that genre. A lot of content creators already do that kind of stuff, which I enjoy watching. And so I don't really personally do that. Yeah. But one of my favorites, though, is Explorers by Phil Walker Harding, which did not get like much attention at all, which I was very surprised by. It's published by Ravensburger, designed by Phil Walker Harding, and it's a very solid, I guess, flip and write. Yeah, flip and write. Very cool game. Okay, so we have one. Did I? Yeah, I haven't used these yet, right? I don't think I've used these yet. Have I? I just did a 4 to 5. I'm going to re-roll these because I don't remember. 1, 1, and 3. We have not used the 1 yet, so that double doesn't help us at all. But we can't connect there because that's already been used. We could... Oh, no, yeah, 1 to 1. Yeah. This one. That's actually very helpful because that blocks off this side and this side for all of them, actually. But then how can we get this side? We would need a 6. If we did that, we would need a 6, a double 6 here. Or I guess we just get inefficient and we do like there and there. So the one down here might not be that helpful. So let's see if maybe there's a better play. 1 to 3 is not a good move because it keeps a gap there and a gap there. 1 to 3 this way could be a good move. It'll enclose for sure this one. And then this one though, oh man, this is kind of hurting the brain a little bit. I think I should maybe just do 1 to 1 here. No, but then for this one we would need the 3, and this one we would need the double 6. So I don't think that's a good move. If we can't do 1 to 3 there. We can't do 1 to 3 there. This 1 to 1 doesn't help anyone. The 1-to-1 here is like less helpful than this. Okay, we're just gonna go straight down, see how this works out for us. 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Okay. Oh yeah, Silver and Gold, also by Phil Walker Harding for sure. I played a print and play a couple weeks ago called Lantern. It's just a 1-page print and play, and it's a roll and write, and it was like very simple, but a ton of fun. So I recommend that one as well. It was called Lantern. Great art that's not colored in, so you can like color it in yourself, which I think is super fun. Okay, let's continue on. 2, 2, and 6. Do we have any 2s? No. We have not used any 2s yet, so that pair is not helpful. 6 to 2. Not helpful there. Doesn't work there because it goes through the bowl. 2 to 6. Can't go there. Can't go at either of these ones because both of these 6s have been used. This one has not been used, but that's completely useless. Like this one. Not helpful because these two are already separated by this line. There's already a wall here. There's already a wall here. So we might need to do a throwaway here, 6 to 2. This is not helpful, right? No, this doesn't do anything helpful because it leaves an opening there. Oh, these two still need to be separated. Oh. This 2 to 6 right here. Yeah. That's not. No, that's perfectly legal. Move there. Let's go for it. All right. I feel good about that one. So now these are all separated from each other. Oh, this one's done. Yay. Oh my God, I didn't even realize this one was done. Okay, as usual, it's the outside ones left, but there's only 2 left. I feel like we're kind of crushing it. 5, 5, and 3. So we can go out of the 5 because we rolled a double. Okay, so this 5 to 5. Oh no. It would leave an opening there. Shoot. This is not a helpful roll. This needs to be a throwaway, I think, like over here. We basically need double 6s. We need triple 6s. Oh no. 6 to 6. Whoopsie daisies. Dang it. Okay. So if we did 5 to 5 here, we could then get 4 to 5, 3 to 5, maybe? No, I don't think. Maybe. But yeah, if we do 5 to 5, that might actually open up a few more options. Yes, it will leave an opening here, but we could finish it here. We could still finish it there. I think that makes sense. 1 in 216 odds to get 666. Yeah. Okay, well, so not likely. So yeah, so I think that makes this makes even more sense than with that. Thank you, Mike. To give us a few more options rather than relying on getting triple 6s. So we'll do 5 to 5. And we can do this because we rolled the double. 5 to 5. Okay. Okay. 1, 4, and 5. Ooh, 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 yay! 1 to 4. That's exactly what we needed. So yeah, so we can do this. We could also finish this one. But so with this one, we could get 1 to 2, 1 to 4, double ones, 1 to double 3. This one, we would need triple sixes, 4 to 5, 4 to double 6, 4 to 4. I'm just wondering if I should maybe do the 4 to 5 here, if there's more options for this one. But I don't think it really matters. So let's just do 1 to 4 here. Is this making sense to everyone? What's going on here? We did it! Yay! Okay, so all we need is triple sixes, or 4 to 5, or 4 to double 6, or 4 to 4, or double fives, triple fives, double 5 to 4. There's a few options. Oh, so if you were a math nerd, Mike, then you probably would like the Around the World in 80 games. I was also a math nerd in high school. They would like rank you in math, which was interesting. And I was number 1 in like grade 10. Then I was like, oh, that's not cool. So I didn't take math as seriously, and then I like dropped down, which is so stupid. But I did enjoy math. But then I was just like, that's not, I want to try to be cool. No, but math is cool. 4 to 5. There we did it. Yay. Yay. Woo. Oh, Mike ordered the book. There you go. I love it. Thanks for the suggestion, Reggie. Okay. We did it. Okay, so we did that. We did that. Moving on to level 3. Okay, even more people are voting for chat and chill, so maybe... Okay, we could just stop there, which I think I'm totally okay with, because I think my brain might burn a bit too much with 5 bowls and then 6. That might be too much. Cool. Well, if you want to chat and chill, tell me what's going on. What did you get up to? Anything fun this week? Did you play any fun games? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you have planned this weekend. Will you be playing any fun games? What are you have anything coming up you're looking forward to? Is anyone watching from BGG Con? I've seen some photos from BGG Con. It looks like a ton of fun. I've never been to a BGG Con, but it looks really fun. Like, the focus is just on playing games, which I really enjoy. I definitely enjoy playtesting conventions too, but like sometimes it's fun just to go and just play games. Designing a write and roll is on my bucket list. One of these years I'll get to it. Nice. Yeah, hopefully you do. I have some ideas too, like this idea of making a 1-page game that people can just print out and play right away if they have dice. I really love that idea as like a way to just get your games out there very easily and accessibly for people to just download and play. So that would be a roll and write. I haven't designed any roll and writes, but I'm intrigued by possibly coming up with one as a print and play, like a 1-page print and play that people could download. I think that could be, there's a lot of possibilities for it for sure. I've had a few different ideas, but it's a really interesting design constraint of just 1 page, just some dice, and just a pen. What can you come up with? There's just, yeah. I definitely I want to try to play quite a few more before I try to make my own. Like I already have a lot of ideas and I just want to make my own, but I'm like, no, I should explore a bit more first, see what's out there, see what some of the things people have done already before I just try to make my own thing. Just to kind of do a bit more research and just get more familiar with the space before I jump right into it. But I think the idea of making your own roll and write print and play is pretty fun. Do you have any ideas for what like the theme could be, or how you can make the mechanics different from some of the other roll and writes that are out there? Oh, that's cool. A drop and roll, where you drop dice onto the game to see the results. Like depending on where they land on the sheet of paper kind of idea. That's fun. That's similar to, like, I use an idea like that for one of my 10 concepts for that game that the concepts coming up for that game for that PR firm that I'm working with. And it's kind of like, if you've played the game Safranito, it's sort of like that, where you're rolling the dice onto the board and you're trying to have them land in different spice bowls. That's the Safranito version. And then in mine, it was different. It was to promote the product specifically. So if it landed in certain areas, you would get different things. But I don't know if I've heard of like a drop and roll specifically. So are you able to hold the dice right over the spot that you want it to land? Or is there a restriction that your hand can't pass the edge of the paper when you're rolling? Because like in Safranito, if you were able to just hold the die right over where you wanted it to land, it could be possibly too easy. So I'm curious how you dealt with that. There's also the game Wreck Raiders, where the inside of the box lid has a bunch of different things, like different spaces in it, and you actually roll the dice into the box top, and then depending on which sections they land, that would then trigger different things, which is a super fun idea. I love it when games use the game box as part of the game. I think that's really fun. I can show you that one. I have it on my shelf, but it's a bit high to show you on here. I'm sure they'll have a picture of the inside of the box. So this is Wreck Raiders. Yeah. Here's the inside of the box. So you roll the dice in here. And depending on where they land, those are the different tokens that you get, I'm pretty sure. Although I don't remember the score dice being in here, because wouldn't they get bonked around if you're throwing dice in here? Yeah, it says dice pool. Anyway, I love when games use the lid as part of the game. Do you know of any other games that have done that? That have used the inside of the box? That's really fun. But yeah, this is a great game. KTBG. They actually just launched a Kickstarter for a new game called Layers that looks really cool, where you are basically like building as treacherous of a dungeon as you can before your opponent then tries to make their way through the layer. It's similar, that is a similar concept to another game I played a few months ago, but I can't remember the name of it. But everyone has, the first phase is everyone tries to add hazards to all their dungeons, and then you pass the dungeon that you've made clockwise or whatever, you get a dungeon, and then you try to have your hero move through the dungeon, but you can see everything. In Layers, it's all behind a privacy screen. So people are saying it's kind of like dungeon battleship sort of idea, which is really interesting. So you will basically be setting up a dungeon like this, but your opponent can't see what you've done and like the walls you've put up, the monsters you've put in. So then when your opponent is moving, they'll be like, all right, I'm going to move E to E2. And then you tell them, okay, you're safe there. Nothing happens to you. Then like, okay, I'm going to go to D2. Like, oh, there's a blob monster. And then something happens. I believe that's how you play, is from what I've gleaned from their Kickstarter video. But this just launched on Kickstarter. It looks like a very cool game. It is 2-player only, but they do have a special, like an extra thing that you can add to have multiplayer mode, which is really fun. But yeah, this just made me think of it because KTBG did Rec Raiders as well. But it looks very cool. Oh, I see. So in Mike's design, you cup into your hand multiple dice, walk over the game. It's on the floor, and you drop the dice by pulling your hands apart to drop them out the bottom. This simulates a bombing run. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, the board game mat is on the floor, kind of like a big, like kind of like twister mat. Like how big is the mat or the board, like the game board on the floor? That's very interesting though. Not many games have like the mat on the floor. I can think of a couple, but that's cool. That definitely makes it more difficult if you have, because I was saying like if you're able to just put your hand over top of where you want to drop it, that might be too easy. But because you're so higher up, if it's on the floor, then that makes that increases the difficulty. So that's interesting. Very cool. Let's check out their Kickstarter page. I haven't backed a Kickstarter in years, but in the last 2 weeks, I've backed 2. We can check this one out first, and then I'll show you the other 2 that I backed. But I love the graphic style of KTBG games. It's very distinct. But yeah, let me show you one's on GameFound. Here, let me just find them first and then I'll show you. But it is fun though. You like back something and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then like, it's like a surprise. Like, like eventually one day I'm going to get something in the mail. Like I'm going to forget about it for now. And I know that at some point in the future, I'm going to get this in the mail. And that's fun. I think that's exciting. So this is the first one that I backed. So this is by Gabe Barrett, who runs Board Game Design Lab, Dyson Crusoe. So this is a reprint. Oh yeah, so it wasn't actually this one. This is like the original. I think this is the original one. But whichever one I backed was part of like a Halloween game. But then they said, also, we're reprinting Dyson Crusoe. So the fact that they're reprinting it makes me feel like it's a really solid game. Because sometimes with backing Kickstarter games, you don't know how well it's been play tested. Are the rules written well? Things like that. But if this is a reprint, and it's by Gabe Barrett, I feel pretty confident that, it's a very well done game. And it's in like that VHS case that I showed in the Game Crafter unboxing video that I did. So I love that. So all of the Solo of the Month games that Gabe does come in these VHS case tapes, which I think is so fun. So a lot of his fans, they have gotten every single one of his VHS case games, which I think is just like super cool. So I'm really excited to get this one. No idea when I'll get it, but I'm just going to forget about it. And then when it shows up, I'll be like, oh yeah, what a nice little surprise. Oh, the map on the floor is only going to be a postcard size? They're going to be dropping dice. You're going to be standing over a postcard, dropping dice, and hoping to try to land on the target. Wow. Interesting. Cool. And you back about 1 to 2 Kickstarters a month. Wow. I can see that, especially lately. Oh my goodness. There have been so many awesome Kickstarters. It is really hard to keep up. But it's so great that so many of them are doing so well. Like, I just think it's so awesome, the support that people put into backing a lot of these projects that are run by a lot of independent designers on their own. So I think it's just fantastic, the amount of people that will actually back these things. I think it's so awesome. So yeah, so this is Dyson Crusoe. It's definitely a good game. There you go. So you get dice, 2 meeples, 3 discs, 23 cubes, tool cards, quest cards. And then you get maps, microfiber boards. Wow. Oh, right. Sorry. This is not by Gabe Barrett. It's published by Gabe Barrett, but it's not designed by Gabe Barrett. So he's a publisher and a designer. And this one is not one of his designs. He's just published it. Let's see where they mention it's an action rondelle. I feel like I'm seeing this a lot more lately. Like, I remember people saying like rondelle as like a mechanic to use, but I didn't really, I don't know. I tried looking it up and I just didn't really, click on what exactly that meant, and just kind of forgot about it. And I feel like it's come up more and more in the past few months. I feel like I've played quite a few prototypes and different games that use an action rondelle, and now I'm like, oh, okay, I see. So basically, if you don't know, it's like a circle and you have to move around it. So like the knitting circle game that I played a couple weeks ago, I had that same idea where you had to move your cat in a circle 1 or 2 spaces and then take the tiles in that space. So I'm assuming in this one, you have to move your little guy around a certain number of spaces, and I'm assuming you have a choice, like a range, and then you have to do that action. And then you just go like around and around and around. There was another game that I watched a video for that uses this, and it looks like a really cool game. It was called Tea Garden, I think. Was it? Yeah, Tea Garden. Yeah. This looks really cool. This looks like a very, very cool game. This designer is going on a tear lately. He has come out with SETI, Galileo Galilei, and Tea Garden, all in within a few, at the same time, essentially. Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine having 3 huge games come out at the same time? They're all within 10,000 on the BGG rank. Are they all with different publishers? This is... I haven't actually heard of any of those publishers, but I have heard this game is getting a lot of buzz. What about SETI? Oh, so this is Czech Games Edition, CGE. That's a big publisher. And then Tea Garden is Albi and Capstone Games. I don't actually know them either. Oh, they did Arc Nova. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay, they're pretty big too. I should probably know. Capstone Games. There you go. But anyway, let's take a look at Tea Garden and see if they have a picture of their action rondelle. Right here. So you see this little circle guy? Whoa. This guy. So you're moving around and around and around, and whatever you land on, you get to do that thing. So the lantern PNP, if you go to PNP Finder, here let's go. PNP Finder. This is a great website that Martin Gonzalez created, and it has a ton of print and plays. If you just search lantern, there it is. And then you just go here. Well, yeah. So you can go to PNP Finder or on Board Game Geek, and you just search lantern. Here it is. And then you just click on, oh no, that's the rules. You just go to the adventure sheet. And there it is. Easy peasy. Download and play. I do recommend using a pencil or laminating it so that you can play it multiple times. But I especially would recommend coloring it in and then laminating it because it's so, oh my goodness, why is this taking 10 years to open? But the art is so nice, but it's basically like a coloring book. There we go. Holy moly. Coloring book page kind of. So like it would be really fun to color this all in, color it all in, laminate it, and then play it. And then you can play it over and over. Isn't that cool though? I love that art style. So basically you're like a knight traveling along this way, fighting all these different monsters and things until you get to the final dragon. And so you can use different dice modifiers to help along your way. It's a very fun print and play. My favorite rondel is Three Sisters. Oh, I didn't even know that Three Sisters was rondel. Let's find that. That's a 25th century game, right? And I have two sisters, so I thought about, oh, that might be fun to buy for us to play together. Let's see if they have a picture of the rondel. Is this the rondel? This? Okay, wait. So the rondel is the billboard third pick with the blue border. Okay. Blue border. This one. Ah, cute. So how does that work? Where's like the path that you move around? I might just have to watch a video about how this works. But I'm not seeing, I guess I'm just not seeing just instinctively how this works as a, from post it to post it. Ah, oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a circle. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Oh, hey, Invisible Temple. Hey, Demi Shadow. The dice go around those locations are all actions like plant or water. Cool. The other ones you mentioned were New York Zoo and, oh, yes, Patchwork or Rondel. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, but in Patchwork, you're not selecting actions. You're selecting patches, right? Would that be a rondel?
Or is it just any time you're going around in a circle is considered a rondel? Oh, no, wait. I wanted to look at mechanics, see if they list rondel. Yeah, there you go. Rondel. The available actions are represented as pie wedges in a circle. Each player has one or more tokens on rondel's wedges. On their turn, they may move their token around the rondel and perform the action indicated by the wedge where they stop. It's typically more costly to move further around the rondel. So, yeah, I guess in Patchwork, you're moving around, and then the action you're doing is taking that patch. Yeah. The action is drafting the tile. Yeah. Drafting rondel. Yeah, I guess so. And then the other one was New York Zoo, which I have not played. Let's see that one. So if anyone's just tuning in, we're just currently looking up obviously the rondel game mechanic, which, yeah, if you just look it up, it might be a little hard to understand, but once you play a game with it, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So let me just bring up Knitting Circle, just because I have played it and it's fairly obvious how it works. So here, you see this circle here. This is the rondel that these cats move around. And you can move your cat 1 or 2 spaces and then take one of those tiles that you land. So I guess it's similar to Patchwork as well, where, yeah, you move and then take one of the tiles. But yeah, let's look up New York Zoo. And then I also wanted to show you Tea Garden. That Tea Garden game looks very cool. I watched a playthrough of it, and I'm like, oh, I think I really like this. New York Zoo. Let's see if we can find a good picture of this rondel. Is it in here somewhere? Or is that just is that the game board or a player mat? That's the player mat. Okay. That looks like the player mat still. Game board is long rectangle. Oh. This? So are you going around the edge of this thing? Oh, and then you're getting polyomino shapes like Patchwork. Interesting. Cool. Okay, and then let's go back to the Tea Garden. Did I completely navigate away from that? Was it Tea Garden? I want to show you this game. Okay. It looks so cool. So many different things connect with each other. It looks like there's a lot going on, but it all makes sense. So you got the rondel here. I think it might be area control. I can't remember 100%. But you're trying to go into these different things to harvest leaves, to make tea, and then if they age or whatever, I can't remember. But there's a bunch of things going on, and they all work together very, very well. I haven't played it. I've just watched a video, but it looks very cool. Someone also mentioned that the designer Danny Garcia is popping off too. Where is that? Danny Garcia is blowing up. Danny Garcia. Not a board game, a person. Yeah. Oh, I've heard of Windmill Valley and Daitoshi, I think. Wow, yeah, 2024, 2024, 2024, 2024. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another one coming out in 2025. Man, that's amazing. That must be so cool. But I've heard really good things about Windmill Valley. Let's see what mechanics it uses. Rondell. Endgame bonuses, market, multi-use cards, network and root buildings, solo, variable player. Let's see if we can see their rondel in this one. Well, it's a windmill, so I guess, yeah, it makes sense that there would be a rondel. Oh, that was an Uwe Rosenberg game. New York Zoo. Yeah, those. Okay, so let's see if we can. Oh, are those the rondels there? Maybe. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. I thought it was gonna freeze my computer. Those look like rondels. That's cool. They're like gears. There's multiple, so that's interesting. And I guess you choose which one you go on to. That's kind of fun. Cool. Which game is this we're looking at? I can't even remember. Oh, Windmill Valley. Right. Yeah, I have not watched a video about this. I have no idea how to play it. I've just heard good things about it. Barcelona is beloved. Oh, boy. Barcelona. 2023. Take on the role of builders in 19th century Barcelona, working on the new district. Cool. Let's see what the mechanics are in this one. We've got, just 3. Nice. Endgame bonuses, tile placement, and worker placement. Nice. People compare it to Tzolk'in. I actually don't know. I've heard of that one, but I have not played it. The Mayan calendar, 65 overall. Whoo! Who is this? Simone and Daniel Tashini. Oh, the Grand Austria Hotel, Marco Polo, Darwin's Journey. Wow, who is this? Simone Luciani. Okay. Simone Luciani and Daniel Tassini. I think I know this name. I don't really know any of those actually. Whoops. Tzolk'in. Mayan calendar. Oh, wow. So it has like the gear thing as well. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, I can't remember how we got here. Oh yeah, so went on a bit of a tangent. I was talking about the games that I have backed. So yes, Dyson Crusoe and how do I? Yeah. Ministry. Yeah. The Ministry of Lost Things. This looks very cool. It's by Rita Orlov and Post Curious. So it's sort of like an escape game kind of idea. Lots of puzzles. Looks super cute. The art looks awesome. But basically the idea is like, you know, all those just little things that go missing. This is about like where those things go, and that there's a whole ministry of lost things, and they're the ones taking these little things that get lost. And there's a whole elusiverse, I think is what they're calling it, where all these things go when they get lost. Yeah, it looks super cute. So unfortunately, both of these things that I'm showing you the campaigns are done. But I just wanted to share, like, I haven't backed anything on Kickstarter for years. And in the last few weeks, I've backed 2 things that I'm super excited about. Have you all backed? So, like, Mike, any of the ones that you've backed you want to shout out, or any special ones that stand out to you? Or has anyone else backed a cool game recently that you want to share? There have been so many cool games on Kickstarter and GameFound in the past couple months, it feels like. Just like, oh my goodness, just so many. And I'm kind of more interested in the smaller indie ones rather than, like the big ones, like, Root came out with a big one, and but like, is there any like cool small indie ones that came out that like 6,000% funded? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's the role-playing game. Oh, that was in 2024. Is this? No, this is not the most recent thing, is it? I feel like it was a Root expansion just came out, didn't it? Yeah, Demi Shadow, it definitely is overwhelming. There's just a lot of games coming out. It's hard to know what to back. Like, but it's great that there's so many cool things coming out. Oh, you backed Speakeasy. I played Speakeasy. It's on Tabletopia, just FYI. You can play it now. It's if you want to get a sense of like the gameplay and stuff while you wait for it to ship. It is on Tabletopia. I'm stoked that you backed it though, so you'll get like the physical copy. Yeah. So in the meantime, while you wait. Oh, there you go. You're already on it. Nice. Excellent. That's great. But that'll be like, this is a beautiful box. Like, that'll be such a nice game to have in your collection, and to have it IRL, like all these tokens and stuff. Like, it's fun to play online, but I can see this being a really fun. Hello. Sorry, my Oh. Yes, the stream did crash. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for OBS to crash. It was trying to open that picture of Speakeasy. So I don't even know how long I've been talking to myself. Hey, Daria. Nice to see you. Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. Well, I'm glad you could join, Daria. I'm glad that timing worked out. Yeah, we were just chatting about different like Kickstarter games and just kind of different games in general. Then I tried to open an image and it was apparently enough to crash OBS. Yeah, so what was it? I was talking to myself for like 2 minutes. So let me show you what I was looking at. I was looking at, oh yeah, Unconscious Mind. Have you all seen this game as well, or have you played it? This one here. It looks very cool. A lot going on, but it all works together very well from what I've seen. I watched a playthrough of it, but just like beautiful art as well. So you're basically a therapist and you are trying to help your patients heal. Sorry, everyone. So yeah, I'm not gonna have anything else open on my computer, and hopefully it will calm down. Sorry to everyone who might be getting a bunch of notifications saying Pam Walls is live, Pam Walls is live, Pam Walls is live. Sorry, it's OBS crashing, being super cool. But I was saying Daria is launching a print and play Kickstarter on the 26th. That is so very exciting. And then I asked if you could share like a landing page or a preview page or something. Feel free to include that in the chat. And hopefully it says excellent connection. So hopefully it kind of looks like it's buffering, but I think it's fine. Okay, landing page is coming next week. Okay, excellent. That's so exciting. Can you tell us a bit about like the theme or anything, any sort of like little teasers about it that you can share with us? That would be cool. Yeah, we're back. Sorry. I'm going to add to the bingo card more than one. OBS crashes more than one time. You can check that off your bingo card. But yeah, Reggie asks, what are some designers you are really liking lately? It's like, I'm trying to think of designers. Like, there are specific games I'm really enjoying lately. I don't know if there's like a designer beyond the usual ones that I talk about all the time, but I have really been enjoying Earth. But that's by, I'm not going to open anything. That's by a designer that I don't know much of their other games. And then White Castle, that's by Shay and another designer. They also did Red Cathedral, but I haven't played it yet, so I couldn't say, but I really have enjoyed White Castle. I played Castles of Burgundy I've been obsessed with for the past couple weeks. The more I play it, the more I'm like, I love this game. And that is a Stefan Feld game, but like I haven't played any other Stefan Feld games. That's the only Stefan Feld game that I have played, so I couldn't really say I've been enjoying Stefan Feld games. I've been enjoying that one Stefan Feld game. But yeah, the designer of Earth is representing Montreal. I do enjoy how Inside Up is a Canadian company. I think that's very cool. And I actually didn't know that the designer was also Canadian. Yeah, Maxim Tardif. Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. Oh, looks like they might be coming out with an expansion called Abundance. Or has that already come out? It says 2024. Earth Abundance. Earth expansion. Cool. That's Earth is definitely, and Castles of Burgundy, highly recommend playing on Board Game Arena. They automate a ton of stuff, makes it way easier to play when they automate and like highlight a bunch of things for you. I played Castles of Burgundy with my members last Sunday, and it was super fun. And it just was a 4-player game. It was pretty quick moving because they tell you, they highlight, here are all the different things you can do. With this die roll, here are all the different things you can do. And here are all the number of workers it would take for you to adjust the dice to do these things. So I've been really enjoying Castles of Burgundy lately. And I've been really enjoying playing games on Board Game Arena asynchronously. So me and my friend Susanna will usually have a game going, which is really fun. And I just like always having a game going on in the background. We have played Castles of Burgundy, Forest Shuffle, Earth, maybe just those 3 so far. But I've been really, really enjoying it. Okay, so here's the story for Daria's P&P launching in a week and a half. The story is that we are 4 cousins and our grandma is going to bake a berry pie for us. She asks us to collect fresh berries. Oh, the bear! I've seen some of your posts about this game in the Board Game Design Lab group with all the different berry cards. It looks very cool. I love the art style. So we take our hang gliders and fly around together with our bird friends to collect some berries. But there's a storm coming, so we have to go back before it hits. At the end of the game, the one with the sweetest set of berries wins the game, thus an extra slice of pie. It's a push your luck, pick up and deliver set collection game. Fun. I love that. That's so funny. I've been following this guy on Instagram who's a paraglider, I think. He like sits in the thing and he has like a big parachute type thing and he like floats around and he flies over the most amazing mountain ranges and then he'll find a cool spot to land and camp, and usually it's like on top of a mountain. And as us board game designers do, I'm like, that could be a board game, like flying between the mountains and stuff. So I love how in your game they're hang gliding and flying around and collecting berries. I think that's super fun. Reggie loves White Castle. Yeah, very cool game. I've played it. I think I've only played it twice, actually. Maybe 3 times. But it was a lot the first time. I was like, I don't even really know what I'm doing. Second time, I was like, okay, it's starting to make sense. Both times I really enjoyed it, though. Like, even though I lost terribly both times. Very fun. And very interesting how you only have 9 turns. My friend Amanda, who was explaining the game, she reinforced, you only get 9 turns in this game. That's it. So be prepared for that. You want to make sure you get those combos going. So Reggie says, I've heard that most people are disappointed after trying other Feld games. Castles of Burgundy is his magnum opus. Oh, okay. Because, yeah, you hear people talk a lot about, like, oh, it's a Feld game, like all these things. And I looked at his gameography, and I was like, to be honest, I haven't really heard of many of these. I definitely know Castle of Burgundy, and so I was worried that I was, like, missing out on all these other amazing games. I'm sure they are great, too, but I think I'm good playing Castles of Burgundy over and over and over and over. I really, really like it. I think I will be buying it. Invisible Temple has that same opinion of Brass. Wish it was a video game that just buzzed when I tried to make an illegal placement. Yeah. A lot of board games I'm sure are played incorrectly because I'm sure miss a ton of stuff. Or we do things that we're not allowed to do. So playing on Board Game Arena, especially when you're learning a game, can be so helpful. Like I don't think I'm ready to play Earth on Tabletopia or IRL. I actually own it, but I haven't played the physical copy because there's just so many cards that can be triggered at different times for different things. And it seems like a lot for someone to try and upkeep themselves on their own. But I actually have only played Brass and Burgundy 1 time, and it was years ago. And I just remember kind of being lost most of the time. Okay, the name is Fly for Pie for Dario's game. So everyone keep an eye out for Fly for Pie on, is it Kickstarter or GameFound, or where can people find it? The new White Castle expansion is called Matcha and adds 3 green dice. So it goes from 9 turns to 12 turns. All right, watch out. 12 turns. Yeah, I've seen that. And I love how it slots in perfectly at the bottom of the White Castle mat. Like, do you think that they already had that ready to go when they came out with the base game? Because I think it kind of looks like it extends perfectly right into it. But I haven't played with the expansion, but I would definitely enjoy that because I do like White Castle. I don't know if I am ready to add more. Like, I think I need to play the base game a few more times before I add an expansion that I have to deal with. But I'm glad that they've added an expansion to it. That it's done so well that they can add an expansion to it. Oh, hey, Joe. Nice to see you. So funny how real-time turn length varies from game to game. Yeah, totally. 100%. Games that are only 6 rounds and they're like 2.5+ hours. Yeah, for sure. Depends, like 6 rounds, but 12 phases in each round. Or 9 turns, but you can combo so many things that you're actually doing like 5 to 10 actions on your turn. So for the Steffenfeld, Bruges is cool, Invisible Temple says. I would love to look that up on my computer, but I don't want OBS to crash again, so I won't. But I will make a note to look that up. Bruges. Oh, and Reggie's visited the real life city of Bruges, so that would be cool to play. Yeah, Joe's saying I've played a lot of games on BGA that I wouldn't be able to set up and teach. Yeah, 100%. Like, the setup alone makes Board Game Arena worth it. And Tabletopia. Like, not having to set out a bunch of things. Like, I tried to learn Earth. Like, I had the physical copy. I had the rule book out. I tried to learn how to, like, to play it and to set it up. And I was just like, there's too many words. It's too long. There's too much setup. The setup was like 2 pages. I was just like, I just can't do it. But then you open up BGA, it's all set up for you. It's so nice. I do love that. Especially just learning it, you know. And then I'm sure, you know, now that I know what all the different cards are, it won't take me so long to set up. But when you first try it, it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to set up and learn with this. Okay, so Invisible Temple is saying there is a certain degree of luck in Bruges that some people don't enjoy, where if you don't draw a certain card that you need, you might lose. And some Euro gamers don't love that. Yeah, I don't love that either. That was one thing I found about Earth, actually, was some of the objectives were like, be the first to plant 6 cards that have the name of an animal in the name. And I just wasn't getting cards that had animal names in the name. Like, I was drawing cards constantly and it just wasn't coming up. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And so just the person who happened to draw those particular cards got that bonus. And that's like 15 points to be the first one to do that. So yeah, I don't love that when certain things rely on you drawing a specific card that you need when there's nothing you can do about it. It's not an open market drafting situation. You're drawing blind and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't love that. Darius' game is going to be on Kickstarter. It's called Fly for Pie, everyone, November 26th. But the pre-launch will go live next week. He'll let me know. Excellent. Yeah, definitely let me know. Be sure to share that in the Discord as well. Yeah, Invisible Temple is talking about rule books in board games in general. There needs to be more knowledge put into them from graphic design to good user interface / user experience. I 1000% agree with you. Distillery, Earth, Sidekicks. Those are the three that jump to mind as games that really could use an overhaul of their rule books. I'm looking at my board game shelf. I see Everdell. Everdell is good. It's concise, lots of visuals, gives you all the information you need in the least amount of text possible. Earth, man, I wish I could go grab Earth right now, but it's high up. I need my stepladder. But the rule book is so long with so many words. It needs to be streamlined so badly. And then Distillery, there are a ton of very important gameplay rules that are not clearly explained in Distillery. I find it very frustrating. Some very crucial gameplay things are not clear in the Distillery rulebook. Anyway, I 100% agree that a lot of rulebooks could use an overhaul. I just reviewed a rulebook for a game of mine that's coming out next year, and I feel like I made quite a few very good suggestions for clarity. And I went over it so many times, and this is after the publisher went over it. I went over it. I still had like a ton of comments, all like small things, but things that I feel like would help make this a lot easier for people to get into. And one of my things was, you have this placeholder here for flavor art. Could we have a picture of the setup and what the setup looks like to help people visualize how to set up the game? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do that. It's like, why is that not a given? Like, that should be a given. You shouldn't have to suggest to do that, But even though I've made all those suggestions, all those changes, I still feel like some people will be confused about certain things. But I can say that I did my best to try to make it as easy as possible. But a lot of rulebooks, I feel like maybe not as much care was put into editing them or trying to cut them down as much as possible. I don't know. Yeah, so Joe really likes Earth, especially on BGA. Yeah, 100% agree. Though I did play IRL once and it wasn't as onerous as I thought. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Because I have been wanting to take it off the shelf and play IRL. Although I have been using all the green cubes in one of my prototypes. So that's part of why I haven't brought it out. But I am not using those. Oh, no, I still am using those cubes. So I might wait till I'm done using them. But I have been kind of avoiding it just because I was like, I don't know if I want to have to deal with constantly reading if any of my cards have been triggered and what would happen. It does help that they're color coded though, so I'm sure it's fine. So on random draws, that's why I kind of feel off with games like Expeditions and Ark Nova. I haven't played either of those, so I can't speak to it. But yeah, I don't. If something you need is based on a completely random draw, I don't like that. Oh, see, so Demi Shadow knows what I'm talking about with the rulebook for Earth as well. Just can't wrap my head around it. Still haven't played it. Yeah, I highly recommend playing it on BGA. It is a very, very fun experience on Board Game Arena. Yeah, that rulebook. And Earth still won, Game of the Year, the Dice Tower Awards. So I'm so happy that a good game still shined through a maybe not as ideal of a rulebook. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, Distilled, Tony. I was talking about how I really don't like Distilled's rulebook. But Demi Shadow is saying one of my favorite rulebooks was Ark Nova. I just immediately got it. Nice. I still have not played Arc Nova, and I remember Arc Nova was like 50% off at a Calendar Club store near me like a couple years ago, and it's just like, I don't like, I didn't know a ton about it. I knew that people liked it, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. And now I'm kind of regretting it. Although I have a rule that I won't buy a game until I've played it first, except I guess for Earth. But in general, I try to not buy a game until I've played it at least once first. Yeah, so with some experience working at a publisher, I feel like there's no real understanding of the rule book part of the work. Yeah, I was surprised, like, with all the publishers that I've worked with, I thought that there would be like a dedicated copy editor, rulebook writer, like their specialty is rulebook writing. That has not been the case in my experience, which I found very surprising. I thought that publishers would have an in-house or contract-based rulebook writer / editor. But no, not in my experience. Yeah. Yeah, Joe, using Earth cubes in a prototype, not being able to play. I'm sure other people, I'm sure you understand that. I'm sure other people understand that too. That was like, I was doing a puzzle last year, and I got down to like the last few pieces, and I was like, this whole section here, there's 4 pieces missing, and I only have a few pieces left. I finished the puzzle, and then I remembered I had used those 4 pieces in one of my prototypes as like a little mini game in the prototype, and I forgot to put them back with the puzzle. That's happened a few times, like all Wits and Wagers. I use the whiteboards in a prototype. I don't think they're, and the poker chips. So I think my Wits and Wagers game is just the questions in there of like taken everything, used everything in prototypes. I'll open up a game and be like, oh right, I don't have half the things I need because I'm using them in prototypes. Yeah, I was saying distillery. Was I calling it the wrong name? Oh nice, Joe's down to play Earth with anyone on BGA if you want. I guess if you're comfortable putting in your username on BGA, feel free to do that. If people want to friend you, that was cool. I think I'm Pam Jam, double M's. Okay, so we just had teams of 2 working on games, 1 editor / developer and 1 graphic designer. That's it. Yeah. Again, talking about like this video I want to make about if I was a publisher, this is what I would do. And one of them would be I would have a dedicated rulebook writer. That's all that they would do. Or contract that out to someone. I would definitely have that. Okay, so Demi Shadows at Arc Nova was compared so many times to terraforming Mars, which intimidated them. Was very surprised how much I loved Arc Nova. Cool. What do you love about it specifically? Cool. I'm just realizing, yeah, I think I've been on for over 3 hours. I might need to head out. But this has been super, super fun chatting and hanging out and playing a bit of a PnP. having a couple OBS crashes, very exciting. Wild Friday night. Yeah. Yeah, it was well, I guess I average like 2 to 3 hours streaming, but not usually like chatting for 3 hours straight. That's a long time to talk. But it's been really, really nice hanging out with all of you. I'm glad so many people popped in and said hello and stuck through the crashes. I appreciate you. Okay, but before we go, Demi Shadow's saying what they enjoy the most about Arc Nova. I need to watch a playthrough because, to be honest, I don't even know how Arc Nova plays. I've just heard people love it and that it's heavy. So the action selection in combination with a huge variety of cards and how you can upgrade the action selection to make them more powerful. Oh, is that the one? Yeah, that's the one where like if you don't use an action, it then makes the next one more powerful or something like that. Anyway, yeah, very cool. I want to check that out. Thanks for that, Demi Shadow. Yeah, thanks Invisible Temple and Mike and Daria and Joe. Everyone else who joined, Tony, Reggie, and everyone from 3 hours ago. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and weekend. If you're a member, I'll see you on Sunday for playtesting. And I'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.